Today on the Wildlife Family, Grandma takes Basalt and me back in time, millions of years ago, so that we can see how coal and oil formed. And then my dad takes me for an underwater trip in our bathtub, which is like our own private submarine. And later I go with Mom and Quick and Quack to the desert to check out a really neat cactus plant. When Dad cuts himself, Uncle Micro and Uncle Scope will take me under his skin to see how a scab is formed to heal the cut. And after that, Grandpa Maddox shows me how satellites collect and transmit information. Come along with me and meet the smartest family in all the town. The Wildlife Family. Mom can make it plain to see that what goes up eventually comes down. The Wildlife Family. Come and meet the Wildlife Family. We got a lot of real know-how. Grandpa knows a lot about flying. Ask him and I'll show you now. Why do airplanes fly?
When I land, I'll tell you why.
Meanwhile, there's a dragon making some kind of a potion in a vat. The Wildlife Family. And Grandma's no stranger. She can teach you all the dangers found in that. The Wildlife Family. Matches up a cannibal marble pie. I know copy kind of guy. Maybe we can show you the answer now. If you want to take a look inside. Everybody's in a lather.
Rushing, wondering what's the matter.
Every person hears a cry.
He rushes to the baby side.
What's the deal? What could it be? Just
That's the Wildlife Family.
Why?
Have you ever wondered why the salty ocean's lightning thunder? What the earth is like down under? Why there's wind and snow and rain? Let Eartha and Basalt explain.
Hey! What happened?
A power outage, and I can't find a single flashlight. Luckily, I've still got my old oil lamp. Basalt, would you please get a bag of coal and my old stove from the cellar? We need a good fire to keep us warm. Coal and oil are fuels, dear. When they burn, they give off heat or light. Coal and oil both formed millions of years ago.
It looks like a black rock.
Ah, but this black rock is very special. I'll show you.
Where are we, Grandma?
Well, we're 250 million years in the past. Now, as you can see, at that time, there were rainforests everywhere.
These are the biggest trees I've ever seen.
Little by little, all the prehistoric forests and plants disappeared.
What happened to them?
Well, as the climate changed, they slowly rotted and disintegrated in the muddy water. In time, the water evaporated, and what was left of the plants was covered by layers and layers of mud. As the layers built up, the pressure changed the rotting plants into a compact layer called peat. Over the course of thousands of years, other materials covered the peat, which sank under their weight and settled in the ground. By the time the coal had sunk to about 180 feet underground, it had hardened into a type of coal my stove uses.
And what about oil, Grandma?
Well, not exactly. The ingredients are a little different, and oil isn't solid like coal. It's a thick brown liquid. But because both coal and oil formed from the remains of living things, they're referred to as fossil fuels. Back to our time, please, Basalt. Oil isn't mined, Victor. It's pumped. When oil is located, a drill pipe digs down into the ground, and then the oil is pumped up to the surface. The oil is refined, which means that all the impurities are removed from it. It's turned into heating oil for our homes, gas for our cars, tar for our roads, and even plastic.
You mean my toys are made from oil?
Well, you might say that.
What on earth?
We were drilling for oil!
Well, you found our water main.
What's going on? I was taking a shower and suddenly there was no water. Hey! That's cold.
Now you can finish your shower, Grandpa.
on with the electronic knack. Machines are his thing, so don't go berserk. That's on the job. You'll find out how they work.
Unidentified object off starboard bow. All hands, prepare for evasive action.
Victor, that aquarium isn't a toy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I was acting out this really cool story Mom read me last night.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. Hey, that's one of my favorites, too.
Dad, how do submarines work?
Victor, I've got a little surprise for you. Our own private submarine.
It doesn't look like the pictures in the book.
That book was written a long time ago. This is called a bathyscaphe. It's built for underwater exploration, so it's slower than a submarine. But it uses the same principles. Fasten your seatbelt, and away we go!
We're diving!
Our hull has special tanks called ballast tanks. When they're empty, the bathyscaphe is lighter than the water, so it floats. And when the tanks are filled with water,
We dive! How do we get back up?
piece of cake! To rise, compressed air is blown into the ballast tanks, which drives the water out. Once the ballast tanks are empty, the bathyscaphe is lighter.
And we float to the surface?
Yep! Now since our bathyscaphe is designed for exploration, let's go exploring!
Yippee!
As we dive, the weight of the water presses down on the submarine. A submarine's curved shape helps it withstand the pressure. Curved surfaces withstand pressure better than flat surfaces.
How do you steer this thing?
There are fins on either side called hydroplanes. They deflect the flow of the water. If I tilt them down,
Our bathyscaphe moves down?
right, and if I tilt them up, we rise. And the rudder turns us left or right. Hey, we're picking up something on the sonar.
Sonar?
Yeah, we use sonar to find things underwater that we might not see otherwise. The sonar emits sound waves, which bounce back from solid objects. The sonar picks up the echoes and uses them to give us an image of something really big.
Dad, look!
A whale?
It looks like it's stuck in those rocks.
Maybe we can help.
Hey, Dad, look, its body is rounded, like our bathyscaphe. I bet it's to withstand the water pressure.
Good for you, Victor. Some submarines are actually modeled after the shape of a whale. Uh-oh.
It looks like saving our friend used up the battery.
Maybe we can get him to return the favor. Well, Victor, any more questions about submarines?
Yeah.
Very funny.
Hey, the questions that you have are not too serious. The animals and plants are not so mysterious, so have no fear. Everything will be made clear. Vanilla, quick, and quack are here.
Well, Victor, are you enjoying our camping trip to the desert?
Oh, yeah. It is very interesting.
It's also very hot. Whose idea was this anyway?
Well, since it's a bad idea, it must have been yours.
My idea was
Yeah, your idea. Oh, come on.
Settle down, you two. The sun's going down, so it'll cool off soon. Let's get back to camp. Vanilla to Max, we're on our way back.
10-4. Hey, we'll meet you halfway and save you a long, hot walk.
Boy, I wish I could be a cactus. The heat doesn't seem to bother them.
That's because they've adapted to living in the desert.
Really? How do they survive?
First of all, cacti are able to store up water, which is very important in an area where there's very little rain. They even save their perspiration. Most plants perspire through their leaves to get rid of excess water.
Look at these big leaves. Whoa, this one must sweat like a pig.
Actually, desert plants use their leaves to retain as much water as possible. Take a look.
I remember. You showed me this on the plants in your greenhouse. Those holes are stomas.
Stomata, or stoma if there's only one. That's where some of the water goes out. During the day, they remain shut.
The leaves look fatter now.
This type of plant has leaves that expand to store more water.
Whoa, that's a pretty smart plant. But cacti don't have any leaves.
Sure they do. Take a look.
Those look like needles to me.
They're actually